Hi, Hal here, host of the Big Woods Bucks podcast. We're excited to announce our partnership with the most respected and recognized land company in the Northeast, Christmas & Associates Land Company. Owners Dan and Mark Christmas are two upstate New York natives with deep roots in the Adirondacks and Tug Hill Plateau, as well as two of the most passionate big woods hunters you'll meet. Whether it's newly constructed camp surrounded by state wilderness or family getaway, their team of experienced land guides are the best at matching folks with the perfect land tract at an affordable price. They even provide financing. Christmas Land Guides will provide full land tours using ATVs, snowmobiles, and even snowshoes so that you can scout every acre. Christmas Land and Camp staff also help you construct the camp you've always dreamed of using our in-the-house master builders. For over 35 years, no one in New York State has provided more big buck properties and family hunting camps to hundreds of folks who love the woods than Christmas & Associates Land Company. Dan and Mark and the whole company remain dedicated to wise land conservation and treating everyone they meet like family. Always available 7 days per week, unless there's fresh tracking snow. Call 800-229-7843 or visit Land and Camps on Facebook or go to landandcamps.com. Welcome aboard. Hey, Hal here. Just wanted to tell you we're excited about our partnership with Minus 33. Minus 33 specialized merino wool base layers for outdoor enthusiasts, from tops and bottoms to hats, socks, gloves. And our gear is going to keep you warm and comfortable no matter what adventure you're on, especially those big woods ones. We're a fifth-generation family owned and operated, a New Hampshire woolen textile manufacturer. They have over 106 years of woolen expertise, and they started manufacturing woolen socks, the Mountain Heritage ones, in New Hampshire in 2018, with the idea that a quality product, affordable pricing, and can be worn and loved from season to season, no matter what your experience level or skill is, so no one should feel uncomfortable or ill-prepared in the outdoor community. Having a reliable gear is one of the first steps towards a lifetime of passion or whatever activity it is. And my caveat to that is you got to wear your woolies. Cotton is death. To find more about Minus 33 products, there's too many to list, so just click on the link in the description and go to their store and get whatever you need. Welcome to the Big Woods Bucks podcast. I'm your host, Hal Blood. Sitting here today with my co-host, Joe Cruzy.
Hello.
And team member, Bob Dunbar.
Here I am.
From New York. Adirondacks fame. And Brad Willey on my left from White Mountains in New Hampshire.
How you doing?
So we're going to talk a little bit about everything deer hunting tonight. Starting with the wrap-up of the season here at the lodge. I think we left off the last one at the end of the second week. And we'll fill you in on the third and fourth week. Joe, you want to tell them about your buck?
Sure. It seems like forever ago, doesn't it?
Oh, I know it.
The beginning of the third week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we never got snow. I mean, we had a little bit. The end of the second week, we had a little bit way up high, just real sporadic. But no real snow until, I think, week 4.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was, we had bare ground, and I had got some pictures of a couple bucks actually in the same picture. One of them was pretty average, and the other one was pretty above average. Really cool rack, non-typical palmated junk on it. So I was kind of focused on that area.
That was at a signpost, wasn't it?
Not that one. No, that was just a trail I'd put a camera on.
Yeah.
And I sat there I mean, I knew it was a long shot anyway. Like, you get a couple pictures of a deer, and especially that time of year, they're probably miles away. But it was a nice spot anyway. I had four bucks on that camera within a few days. So I thought, I'll sit here for a bit. So I brought a ladder stand in there and sat a little bit. Got kind of tired of sitting, and was going to another spot, and I thought I'd go down and check. I had a signpost I had a camera on. So I went down and checked my camera, and there had been 3 bucks. 2 of them were shooters. The other one was a 2-year-old, and 2 does, all within, I think it was just before noon when I saw it, and I think the first picture was around 6. So just in that morning, there was 3 bucks and 2 does there on that signpost, which prior to that, there was like a sporadic buck here or there. So I would assume that one of the does was a hot doe and that it was just bringing those bucks in, but they still went to the signpost and rubbed it and everything. So whatever it was, anyway, they were hot in that area. So I just sat down, found a spot downwind, and thought I'd sit there for a little bit and see what happened. I don't think I was there 5 minutes, and I looked over to my left, and there's kind of a little ridge there, and it drops off on the other side. So I saw the back of a deer just walking, from right to left. And it surprised me because I literally just sat down. I don't even know where he came. He might have been bedded over on the other side. I don't know. I mean, he came out of nowhere. So I grabbed my gun and stood up, started easing towards him to see what he was, and he popped his head up behind a tree there, and I just saw about half of his face and his neck and his left beam, and made the decision to pull the trigger, and shot him in the neck. And he ended up being a 2.5-year-old buck, a decent rack for a 2-year-old, but small body. And that was kind of the part when he dropped on the other side there. I never saw him. I walked over and looked at him, and I knew right then.
A little ground shrinkage.
Well, I never saw his body to begin with to have ground shrinkage, but yeah. So I looked at him. I'm like, man, that's a small body, but yeah, you make that decision and that's it. You're done.
Yep.
You pull the trigger and it's over, and gotta be good with the decision you make. So, which I was. You always want to hunt longer, especially when there's bare ground and there's eventually going to be snow.
Yeah.
But
I'm having trouble pulling the trigger.
Yeah, I guess you are.
I don't know if I want a deer or not.
Well, I drug him out, and when I drug him out, I was like, I drug a lot of deer in Florida, and I said, this is like a Florida deer. So I took him in, and Kenzie was there tagging it, and I really wanted to weigh him just out of curiosity, just to see, what he was. And she said, "You got any guesses?" I said, "Yeah, I think it's 120 pounds." He was 125. So, but he was, 2.5-year-old buck, season over. But it's actually been, I've had a lot of fun. I went with my daughter one day. I went with Braden a couple days. I went with Brad some. Went with him one day. And so, happy to get my deer, and just got the meat back today. And
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
I think a lot of people got fooled with the racks this year because there was, the horns were good, even on the yearlings and 2-year-olds, racks were better than usual. So we had a lot of those at the lodge. The guys, nice 8-pointers, and they'd weigh 150 pounds, 160 pounds. And so usually them 2.5-year-olds are, a lot of them will go 180 early in the season, 170, 180. But yeah, it was good. Yeah, that was a third week, right?
Yeah, the first 2 days we got, including mine, we had $6 on the pole the first 2 days of the third week, which I think that's the best 2 days that we've had yet.
Yeah, for sure.
Open. And and so of course everyone's like, I was actually going to go over to the shop and make some extensions and stuff to put wings out on the side of the pole so we could keep hanging, because you just figure when you start off like that, well, of course we're going to get more. And I think we ended up getting 3 more for the week. I think it was 9 total that week.
9 and 1 missed that week, and that was that made it about half the guys had a chance. Well, plus they passed some up too, and then which was better than the first 2 weeks. But the first 2 weeks we already said were good because we had a lot of misses the first couple of weeks. But so 9 was good, and then the snow came Thanksgiving week, and they only tagged 3 that week, last Thanksgiving week there. And we did have a couple of misses last week too, I think, though, 2 or 3 misses. But
I think it was like, if I recall, it was just over 20 for the season, 21 maybe, that we came up with.
Yeah.
That we killed.
Yeah, that's high success rate, though, because up here I don't believe it's over. Well, statewide it's like 15%. So up here I doubt it's more than 5. But so
we haven't done a podcast since that was third week or was it fourth week that Benway's Nick and
that
was
third week.
That was a good story.
Yeah. We had a couple from Vermont. They both shot bucks. John Benway was guiding them. They both shot bucks the same day, and that was pretty exciting. That was on Friday.
So they went up. John was, sorry for forgetting her name. Kristen, was it?
Yeah.
So John was up with Kristen, and they shot a small 5-pointer, and which incidentally, he sent me a picture. She shot a beautiful buck over in Vermont just a couple days ago.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, nice 8-pointer.
Oh, nice.
But anyway, so she shot her buck, and Nick was close enough by, I guess. He heard the shot, so he came up there, and they were all happy, celebrated and everything. And so they started heading down the mountain with it, and John said, well, he's going to run out and get the jet sled.
Yeah, they had about 1.5 mile drag, so we figured he'd go get the jet sled out of the truck. Good thing he did.
Well, I think they drug a little bit further on their own. They just followed his tracks and drug down, but they ended up on the end of a old winter road. They were just sitting there waiting for John to come, and about 80 yards down the road, a doe popped out, so he got ready. And I think he said it was like 5 minutes passed before that buck came up, but beautiful buck.
Yeah.
One of the I think it was the nicest one taken this season.
Nicest rack.
Rack, yeah. And he shot it. He shot that, and it ran towards him up the road. They had it on video. She was videoing.
Yeah.
And so they dropped that, and I guess right behind it, another nice buck came out, just like him.
Yeah.
And John was funny. He said, I got there. I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
He was about 300 yards away when they shot, and he got up there wondering what was going on. And he was pretty tuckered out that night from dragging.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good day. Yeah. So anyways, good season. A lot of good stories. I got plenty of stories, but we ain't got time tonight.
But Braden got a nice one last week too.
Yeah, that's right.
That one didn't end up on the poll, but that one was posted on Facebook and Instagram. But that one went 220. Nice buck.
That's a beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old gnarly rack.
Yeah.
I told Joe he got one like I usually get, big body with crappy antlers.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
The saying is you can't eat the horns, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, they're pretty unique, but like you said earlier, he's got wicked scars all over him from fighting. I mean, gouged out on his side, and Braden said his asshole had, damage on it and stuff. And like you said, I think he didn't have much of a rack to fight with, so he took a beating.
Yeah.
He wanted to fight, but he was like fighting with one arm tied behind your back,
Now, when was the first day you had snow here?
I think we had snow for Saturday of the third week, and then we got more for Monday.
Yeah.
Because
That's right.
that's the day that Scott went with me and filmed on Saturday. Remember?
Yeah.
We took his buddy Sean. Scott had shot his buck on Monday, and he wanted to film. So I said, "No, we got the snow." I said, "You might as well come with me." And that's the day I passed up that nice little wide 8-pointer there. And Sean missed one the same day. It was kind of funny, but not funny that he missed. But
That was also when you got the footage of that tree falling, which was kind of cool.
yeah,
Right behind you.
yeah, both that's on Facebook, ain't it? Both of those clips.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't get snow till Thanksgiving week. It's been crazy.
Yeah.
And I live kind of like in a snow belt, and we haven't had anything. So it's just bare ground hunting the whole time.
I always assume that swath through the mountains there is always like if we get it, you guys get it. But I guess that's not the case.
Depends how the storms roll. They're always
Yeah.
they're always different. But yeah, we was thinking, because the season was basically running a week later on the calendar, that we'd have more snow, but didn't seem to matter. There was plenty of deer, so like the best week was the third week with no snow. Killed the most deer.
Yeah. That's what
But that was when the rut really got kicking in. They was running around and running everywhere, them bucks, and chasing does, and so a lot of them just ran into the guys. Is what happened. But
yeah.
The silver lining is that there was a lot of deer that survived because of no snow.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There was a pile of hunters in town.
Third
and fourth,
week, yeah.
third week and even fourth week.
Yeah.
There was quite a few people around. But
Yeah.
yeah, with snow it would have been a slaughter, I think.
Oh, if we had snow all season, yeah.
Yep.
Yep. No, it's working out good.
You got yours over in New Hampshire, correct, Brad?
Yep. Yeah. Got it in the White Mountains. It was rough. I've been hunting since muzzleloader. And it's been no snow. It was actually really dry, too. We didn't get a lot of rain. So you're just crunching around in, cornflake leaves.
Yeah.
And it just makes it tough. A lot of, you can't get discouraged by it. You got to be out there. But, it is easy to get discouraged if you don't have the right mind frame.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Because you don't have a high deer density over there either.
No.
Yeah.
No. My best years are when I see 3 deer.
Yeah.
Last year I seen 23 doe and not a buck following.
Ugh.
Yeah, that was unheard of. I've never done that in my life, but this year, yeah, I just kept pounding this area, and my oldest son Owen, he missed one probably 2 days before, and I know that area really well. So I went in there, and I'm not a rattler by any means, but I saw Jeff Paradis's video. So I'm like, you know what?
Someone watched it, Jeff.
I'm going to, somebody watches your stuff, Jeff. So I'm like, I'm going to try it. What the heck, So I did that little, and I nicknamed it for him too. So he's got to claim this now. It's called the Hondo Combo.
Yeah.
So a little rattle, couple grunts in between, you know. Jeff explains it. It's like he's in the fight, you know, and he can't control what he's doing, and he's just rah, rah, as he's rattling, you know. And then you end it with a couple bleats. That's his little rattling music.
Yeah.
So I called it the Hondo combo. So I tried it twice, and I crossed this bog, came up, and it's just a beautiful day, but not beautiful for deer hunters. You know, it's just sunny, a little warm, and I got the wind facing me, and I did the Hondo combo.
Again?
Yeah, again. So it was like an hour apart. I did one on the other side of the bog, and I did the Hondo combo. So you're welcome, Jeff. So I did that. I waited like 20 minutes. The wind was to my face, and I had a really good view, and I'm just looking down, and all of a sudden I just hear this thump, thump, and I knew immediately what it was. It was a deer jumping. So I just turned, pull up, and what he was doing is he was winding me, and he was on my downwind, and I heard him jumping away, and it is thick. I mean, thick as can be. Blowdowns everywhere. We had a really bad storm, and it's totally changed the woods there. I mean, just sections of woods just gone. So I just pull up. I see about as probably midway neck and up, and I see a curl of the horn in the sun, and I'm like, yep. And within a split second, you had to make the decision, A, before you turn around, is it a deer? And I already said, yep, because I made the sound. And then B, is it something I want? Can I hit it? And yeah, everything came together. So I ripped a couple shots, and a couple shots got eaten by the softwood, and I go up. 20 yards away, he's there. And yeah, I mean, it all goes back to practice too. You know, you talk about it all the time, how's being connected with your gun, making an extension of yourself, you know, putting your time in, not just shooting it once a year and putting it up. And we've shot that moving target since I was a kid, and it really came down to that. It's just practice and persistence, you know. And yeah, so that was my year. I was happy with him. It was a 7-pointer, and he was a good little buck. And you know, especially where I looked at the forecast, we didn't have any snow in the future. You know, I'm just pounding all day, and I want to get to other states. So yeah, he was a good buck.
So now here you are, chasing them in Maine.
Yep,
The smoke pole.
that's right. Yeah, it's fun. I like it up here. I don't run into as many people. The national forest and the White Mountains in New Hampshire gets pounded pretty good. And up here, you know, there's obviously hunters, but it's so vast, you know.
Finding any deer tracks?
Yeah, I found a few.
He's whispering again, Joe, when he said that.
Yeah.
I found a few, Joe.
Well, I can't tell if it's because I'm deaf or if he just talks too low, but I'm pretty sure it's because he talks so low, because I can usually understand everyone else when they're whispering.
Yeah. Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Joe knows about my whispering. Yeah.
I mean, it's just so I hunted with Brad on Monday. I followed him with a camera, and which I've really, with doing it with Braden and a couple of days there and with Brad, it is a lot of fun, because I can focus when he's watching the track and everything. I can just constantly focus up ahead scanning. Mm-hmm. I've got my binoculars right here, so if we're in a piece of woods that's open enough but you can see far out, you can just stop and just easy scan. I think you always talk about how with two people it's 4 times as hard, which I agree with that for sure when you're guiding someone, because you're in the front and the gun's behind. So I think that takes a lot away.
Yeah.
But if you've got 2 guys that can walk quiet and know what they're looking for, and the gun's in the front, then I think it turns almost into an advantage.
Yeah. Yeah, it can, but it's still twice the movement and
It
twice
is.
a chance somebody will snap a
Yep.
stick or something.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter a lot if you're just going along. When it makes the big difference really is when you're getting in close to something where you got to make sure every step you don't snap something, and
Right.
that's when it's difficult.
Well, what I try to do is step right in. I keep my cadence exactly the same. When they're stepping in front of me, my legs moving exactly the same and hitting the ground exactly the same. So it's only, you try to make it sound like one person instead of two sets of footprints. But when you forget to turn your alarm off on your phone.
Yeah, that was interesting. on a track, and all of a sudden I hear an alarm go off. I go,
I mean, dead quiet. It's just as calm as can be.
yeah.
I had set a reminder for myself for something else. And
Yeah. I fired him, Hal, but I rehired him.
yeah, on the spot.
You're fired.
Bob, how's your season going?
Well, I much like Joe, I made the decision to pull a trigger on a half rack. I had hunted a muzzleloader season up in the Adirondacks. I had seen some deer. Wasn't able to close the deal. I got really close to a couple of them. I actually had some bust out. I used a bleat call, and it was like hitting them with a lasso and just drawing them right back. And they came right back in, and I'm sitting there and I'm watching. I can see their legs underneath, but I can't see what they are. And the wind swirled, and they turned themselves inside out and gone. And I went up to the rifle season in the Adirondacks for one weekend, I think it was. But just with work and stuff, I got really, really busy. But, I shot a half rack down in the southern zone of New York. I shot a buck with the bow, and I think it was that one, actually. And it had missed it. But
Was he broke off or just never grew it?
no, he broke it off. So he was fighting with another deer. And good body on him. He was like 150, 160 pounds. So he was pretty heavy. But it was a long shot. And when I saw him, I thought it was an 8. I didn't realize it was a half racket. He was, like I said, he was 150 yards away from me. So I was like, okay, I'll shoot him, just to put some meat in the freezer. And when I shot him, he took off, and it was one of those things where you shoot and you're like, that shot didn't feel right. You just shoot, and sometimes it just doesn't feel right. You think, I think I missed him for that distance anyway. And I walked up. It was a huge pile of hair, and I thought, I probably grazed his brisket and gave him a haircut, right? So I just kind of looked around, walked in the trail where I saw him go, and I walked in there like maybe 5 yards, and he stood up. He was 20 feet from me, and he stood up broadside, so I put another one in him.
He must have been hurting.
Yeah, he was hurting. And then he only went like 30 yards and dropped. So.
Yeah, nice.
And now you're here.
Now you're here.
Now I'm here, trying to get another Maine buck.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get one. Doing the old smoke pole. I see another one Monday I let go. Had kind of a crappy rack there. I took it because it was pretty fresh. It was only probably an hour old. I said, well, I knew it wasn't a big track, but ended up not being much of a buck. So,
Well, I've got on a couple bucks in the last couple days. Just hasn't panned out.
it's been kind of hard. It's kind of quiet, especially when they get in them thickets. On these quiet days, it's pretty hard.
Yeah, there's no wind to speak of at all. I mean, it's
Yeah.
definitely quiet.
Yeah, well, we're going to have some wind for the remainder of the week, so
Yeah, it picked up later in the afternoon today.
yeah.
It was nice. I can't get away from the moose.
Yeah,
I'm not a moose fan.
me neither.
Yeah.
Not during
during
deer
deer season. Gets me excited. I see a big body moving, and I see that moose.
Yeah.
And I've run into the same spike now 2 days in a row.
He likes you.
Yeah, I don't like him, Hal.
I think the last 2 days of this week will probably be two of the best we've had all season.
Yeah.
Because the wind's supposed to blow. We're getting fresh snow tonight.
Yeah.
So it's while we're recording this, it's Wednesday, middle of the last week of muzzleloader in the northern zone, and we're supposed to get 5 to 7 tonight, I think.
Hope we get 2.
I know. It's too much.
The wind's already started whipping outside, so it's getting really windy.
But yeah, I mean, tomorrow might be rough finding a track, but Friday should be a great day.
Yeah, it's a matter of finding the track you want, right time, the right place, and let it come together.
Connect the dots.
I need some fresh snow. We've just been seeing tracks everywhere. Probably the second, it's almost tied for first, Hal, I told you, but definitely the second biggest track I've ever seen in my life today.
Yeah.
So I need a little snow to freshen them up so I can put a little red on white.
Clean slate. Starting with a clean slate tomorrow.
Yeah.
Be lucky to find a track, but if you do, he ain't going to be far away.
Yeah.
There's a lot of deer down there in that area. I mean, I think a few of them, I mean, they're going to find tracks. It's just
the right one.
Whether the big one's going to move or not.
Yeah, that's it. They're getting they're pretty tired, except for the one I got on yesterday there that rammed every doe all night. So I got to have an easier one. I've come to the conclusion finally at 67 years old that I can't go every single day of the season anymore. Much as my mind says go and my body says no. I guess if I put on too big of a day, it's just I have to have a day to recover. So
yeah, my dad's dealing with that.
Yeah,
so he's up this week too, and he got into him today too, but. Yeah, he feels in his knees, his hips,
Yeah.
But he's already had a great year.
Yeah, he shot a nice one in New Hampshire. Huh?
Yeah, that was the highlight of my season, just seeing him get his best rack buck ever.
Yeah.
That was definitely a beauty. And I was only the shot sounded like it was only 100 yards behind me the way it traveled through the woods.
Yeah.
We're in this bog and I'm like, man, did somebody come in on me? And
never thinking it could be in your group, right?
Right. And I know where he is, and it just didn't sound like it came from him. So we actually had cell service for once. I text him, and I'm like, son of a gun, I think somebody's right behind me. I can't believe it. I go, did you hear that shot? And he said, well, there was an explicit with it, but he said, oh, yeah. And I'm like, this didn't sound like, oh, yeah, you heard the shot? And I said, no, there's a shot behind me. He goes, then it dawned on me. I'm like, was that you? And he goes, and then all I hear through the woods is this wild, like, wolf howl. And the wolf howl came from my 73-year-old father.
That's great.
Yeah.
And I am just beelining it through this wicked thick swamp, and I just couldn't believe it. I just see him laying there. I see my dad's face, and then I just see that buck laying there, his head up by his rack, basically. And I couldn't believe it. It was just an awesome moment being able to share that with him.
For sure.
But, I came to the conclusion, well, I kind of knew it already, but the other day, so the day that Braden shot his buck, he had headed out. We didn't have any cell service. We had all the cell towers were knocked out, and there was no internet or anything up here. So basically we had no communication. So all I had was my inReach. So I had sent him a message saying I was cleaning snow that morning. I said, if you get something, shoot me an inReach. My buddy Jeremy was hunting in this area, and same deal. I'd sent him a message,
Yeah.
So left the inReach in my truck to charge, and I came back about, 11:30 or 11:45 something, and there was 2 messages there one from Braden, one from Jeremy. They both shot at the same time, right? So I was pretty excited. They both had nice bucks down. So I rode out. I drove out to where Braden was, and he had just got it down to the road, so we stopped and talked and took a few pictures and some videos and stuff. He loaded it up and we drove out. Then we came by to go in and check on Jeremy and find out how he was doing. And he was just coming out as we were going in. So we ended up parking right there, $2 in the back of the trucks, 3 of us hanging out on a woods road, drinking a beer.
Doesn't get any better.
Doesn't get any better. So that what you're talking about with your dad.
Oh, yeah.
The afterwards and celebrate with your sons. I mean, that's all part of it. That's a good part of it.
Yeah, that was one of the better tasting traditional victory beers that we have. So
For sure.
Yeah, it was quite a moment. So I'm real happy for him that he had a great year, and we'll see what happens this week for him. But he's in them, so.
Yeah. You sent that to the group text, and that got everyone fired up. I think that was a nice.
Oh yeah.
That was a beautiful buck to start the season off with.
Yeah, because I think it was November 16th or the 18th, something like that.
Was it that late? I was thinking it was.
Yeah, I want to say
earlier.
Yeah, I shot my deer a couple days later, I think.
Nice.
Yep.
Hey, Hal here. I want to talk a little bit about our partnership with OnX Hunt. I've been using it for a while now, and if anybody knows me, they know I'm not a very techie person, but the OnX app is it's a real time saver. I remember the days when we poured over topo maps everywhere we was going to go and stuff, and I don't do that quite as much anymore. Where it's really helped me is scouting, whether it's deer scouting, a moose, or even turkey hunting in the spring, which I do. It really helps out. I don't have to spend as much time running around the truck burning up the gas. I'm just basically using my OnX. Got it on my phone. Don't even carry a GPS anymore. So I just download the areas where I'm going to be hunting, whether it's up north moose hunting, and I use it mostly on the satellite imagery. I like to see the cuts and the clearings and the turkey hunting, the hidden fields and stuff. But everybody's using it now, from the game wardens to land surveyors, and just a great tool. And with our partnership with OnX, if you use a code BWB, you're going to receive 20% off on your first premium or elite memberships. And you just go to onxmaps.com/hunt. You'll be glad you did. Good luck on the trail.
As you all know, Big Woods Bucks is devoted to promoting the best equipment for tracking and still hunting the big woods. Part of that equation for success is the sights that sit on your hunting rifle. We've chosen Skinner Sights as the company to produce our custom-built BWB Tracker Series peep sight. It's constructed of solid steel, has our custom ghost ring, and was co-developed by some of the best trackers in the world. To get yours, go to bigwoodsbucks.com and click on the Optics tab.
Pine State Armory in Skowhegan is your ultimate destination for hunting and outdoor gear. Located at 338 Madison Avenue, we're more than just a store, we're family. Nick and Jess and their friendly dogs, Bailey and Ruby, are always ready to greet you. Pine State Armory is a family-friendly store where safety meets expertise. Your kids are always welcome. And if you're new to the sport, we're here to help with gear recommendations and the knowledge and information you need to get started right. Looking to buy, sell, or trade firearms, whether new or used, we have what you need. And to those who serve our country, we're proud to offer a military discount as a token of our appreciation. Visit us today at Pine State Armory, 338 Madison Avenue, Unit 8 in Skowhegan, and experience the great outdoors like never before.
Hey folks, Rick Labby here from Big Woods Bucks. I'm here today to tell you about our new packs. This is our new small pack, which the first time I saw it, Chris showed it to me and I said, that's the nooner, because that's the perfect pack if I'm getting on a buck track at noon. And it'll hold a sandwich, your water, a little bit of gear. It's virgin wool, made in USA, waterproof resistant, has a liner on the inside. It is a great pack. This pack, this is our newest large pack. which when I used to carry the older pack, I always wore suspenders because it bothered my hips a little bit. So we designed one with shoulder straps, and this is a great pack. It takes the weight off your hips, puts it onto your shoulders. It's got a GPS pouch right here in the top you slide in. Same deal, it's water resistant on the inside, got that liner. It's a perfect pack. So I go to bigwoodsbucks.com, get yours today, and I'll see you on the track.
Hey, Hal here. Finally got some good news for all you. Our jackets are finally in. It's been a long process, but we got them done and got them right with all our new features and stuff in them. So some of the new features we added was a game pouch in the back you can access from inside with dividers in it. It's just like the original one. Mine's the original one, not the new one. It's got your slash front pocket so you can get in and get at your GPS or whatever you carry in your front ones. They're all lined with, the pockets are lined with Microtech fleece, so it's nice and warm on your hands when you put it in. Microtech's fleece. Got your slash pockets here. Just 100% wool, virgin wool. I think they call it's 100% virgin wool, but it's 85% wool with some nylon to make it stronger. Tight woven. And the vest, I don't have the vest on it. The vest snaps on. Your orange cape comes with it. And we're going to have the green checkered jackets come in 22-ounce wool, and we have plain green, forest green, same color as our pants that are coming, and those are in 18-ounce, a lighter wool, so you can have a 3-season jacket or a 4-season jacket. And the pants will be coming in a couple weeks, and just in time for deer season. So get them ordered up and we'll get them shipped right out to you. Good luck on the trail. So the third week, after I took Billy Moles there, the second week, then the third week I took Rylan again. I think we went 5 out of the 6 days. I think I needed a day of rest that week too, but we were talking about seeing 2 bucks together. We'd seen 2 bucks together twice, and then the third week we was walking in one morning, bare ground, just making a still hunt. Just went by just got to a couple of scrapes there, and we were in a softwood area, and there was one little opening, some maples in it, and we just got to them scrapes, and I see him whirl up, and I see 4 tails going. And you know how you get, they were running from right to left, and the first 2 went across the open, and they were crotch horns, and then the doe went, and then I instantly thought about there was one more, so I looked back to the right, and there was this giant bounded in behind some blowdowns and stopped, and I couldn't see it. Rylan was just ahead of me, and I didn't know till afterwards that he could see it. He could see the face and just the neck a little bit where it went into his head there, and he had his gun up, and I didn't think he could see it, so I said, just wait, it'll cross that opening there, and figured it would run after the doe. But when it took off, it quartered down through the opening. It didn't go right across, and he didn't shoot. I think he's scared of missing. I think that's what, but it was I'd have been laying him out there because it was pretty open, but quartering away. But anyways, afterwards he tells me he didn't he said, I didn't think I wanted to take a neck shot. That's when he explained to me he could see his neck. I said, geez, Rylan, if there's any place to shoot, it's right where the neck goes into the head. But yeah. I don't know, it was down there about 60 yards or something. But he was another monster, like we saw that first week, I guess. But
I think that's common, though, when they're that young. They just don't want to fail, and they don't understand that you learn from your failures.
That's what I had to tell him. I said,
know?
Rylan, you're never gonna know if you miss or what you did wrong until you start shooting. I said, then you'll figure out what you got to do different. If you never shoot, you're not gonna learn. So I think it was maybe a little painful lesson for him, but that was something, seeing 3 bucks together, and they were obviously, that doe was coming in or in heat there, and it attracted them little ones around. But so yeah, it was pretty interesting. So
my youngest son did that, but he shot. It was like a 70-degree day. Remember, like a couple of years ago, we had that.
yeah,
Those
warm days.
Oh God, yeah. I was in a long sleeve cotton T-shirt, and I told Alden, I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen today. It's 70 degrees, right? So we went where it was cooler, and we're going through. And long story short, I can smell him. And I'm like, just hold on a second. And he listens direction pretty good. And he was only 13. And, of course, it couldn't have been a little spike that came up in front of him. I mean, this thing was a staver. This thing was huge. And I say, Alden, right there. I go, you see him? And in this stuff, it's like 6 inches makes a difference, you know. And then I go, do you see him? Right? As quiet as I can, because he's just...
He didn't hear you, Brad, if you were as quiet as you can. I can promise you.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. So... So he ends up pulling up, and I go, you got him? You got him? He's like, no. Is that a good whisper, Joe?
Yep.
Okay, just checking with you. So I go, you got him? And he's got a red dot, and he shoots. And I can't see where that deer's going, just that 12 inches to his right, you know? And I'm like, did you get him? And he just wouldn't answer, and he just looks at me, and he's just like this. All right? I go, did you get him? He goes, I don't know. All I saw was rack. So you know what he shot at.
Yeah, sure.
But it was a great moment, and it was a learning moment. That's my point.
Right.
Is
yeah.
You know,
they got to learn.
Yep.
Yeah. So then I think that week we saw he passed up another spike horn, and after he did, he goes, I don't know how many more of them I can pass up, he goes. And I said, well, you're going to find out if we see another one. But
Yeah.
And I think I don't know if we saw them. We might have saw them before that or something. But anyway, so then I told him, we went all the third week. And then I said, Rylan, Papa's got to hunt, because I don't take my gun when I'm with him. You know, I just take the camera and go. So I hadn't really hunted much the whole season. And then he comes over. I remember we were sitting over at the lodge having supper, and he said, I got an idea, Papa. And I said, what's that, Rylan? He said, this was after that he saw the video of me passing that one up on Saturday. That he saw that.
I saw that.
And he goes, how about if I go with you and I can run the camera, and if we see a deer you don't want to shoot, I'll shoot it.
He's already learned.
Yeah, he's got the angle.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, that'll be fine.
Yeah.
So that's what we did Thanksgiving week. We went together Thanksgiving week there, and we had a couple close encounters with a couple big ones, and actually the first day we got onto a big decent track, not a big one that I wanted, but we saw it, and I go, you know, Rylan, let's just take it. You take it. And I said, it's probably going to take us to a bigger one. It was like 100 yards from the truck, and it was like an hour old. And we did see that one twice that day, and he just didn't quite get a shot at that one either. The first time both times it would have been hard, just see a couple of bounds or something there. But he's getting it. The more they get to see him, I think, you know, when you learn, and the more you can anticipate what happens. You know, more experiences you have. So
well, and a confidence factor too.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And then
it reminds me. So this year was the first year I took my daughter out, right? And she's, oh God, I think she's 15 now. Sorry, Carly. She just turned 15 November 26th. So
You knew Alden's age right away.
yeah. Thanks, Joe. I think Owen's 22 or 23. But so we go in, we're going to the National Forest, we're in the White Mountains. And first 20 minutes, we jump a doe. It's youth weekend, so she can. And I mean, she pulls right up right away. I go, no. I go, you don't got a shot right there. So there's a little difference between her. It's funny to see the differences between your kids, and what she's willing to do. Alden's a little bit more Alden at that time was more cautious. Now he's a gunslinger, and Owen's just always been. I mean, he'd throw lead at anything. So
Yeah.
Ryland's
funny. He's quick. His gun is up. Sometimes he's throwing his gun up before I see the deer.
Yeah, that's
and
good.
He's quick like that, but I just think sometimes I think he gets a little hesitant about the shot. But it's been fun watching them big ones.
I had something happen that was kind of funny. A couple Saturdays ago, I took my daughter Leah, and we knew it would be. She's 5 months pregnant, so we kind of knew it would. We just see how it went, and how she made out through the woods, because it's obviously a little tougher for her to go right now. And we had nice fresh snow, and we picked up a track right off the bat, first thing in the morning in the road. So anyway, we're on it, and it took us across the highway and up the mountain. And I always talk about how I very rarely run into anyone in the woods, hardly ever. I could count on one hand, I think, how many times it's happened. So we're in this piece that never in a million years would I have thought there'd be someone else in there. And I look like, 30 yards through the little bit thick there, and I see orange, and we kind of spotted each other at the same time. And it's right where the track's going that we're on. And my first thought is obviously, this guy just came across and found our track, and he's making a decision whether to go on it. So we continue over to him, and hey, how you doing? He goes, your buck went that way. You just right here. And I said, oh, okay. I said, I looked at his track and everything, and he said he'd started up higher on the mountain and came down, but it just so happened that our paths crossed exactly where our buck's paths crossed, which was kind of funny. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, yours went that way. And we talked for a minute, and I said, good luck. And we went our separate ways. But I just thought it was funny that the timing of it worked out like it did.
Yeah, it's 2 points connecting.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was Saturday, the last day of rifle, me and Ryland was headed in. We're back in there we'd been, a few hours. We were making a big loop trying to cut another big one, but we weren't having any luck that day. And all of a sudden I look and I can see orange. I'm like, what in the heck back in here? And I can see it's two guys. Then I can see they're dragging a deer. Well, I hadn't heard any shots. Well, that's kind of strange. So they were right the way we were going. So I said, let's go see that deer around. And we walked over, and I'm walking over. I whistled. They didn't even see us. I whistled, and the guy kind of comes to attention. His name was Josh. Shout out if you're listening, Josh. He says to his buddy something like, I can't believe it, or something there. And he goes, hey, Hal, how you doing? I said, good. He said, I shot this one yesterday, and I got my buddy to help me drag it. He had a little 6-pointer there. He said, I wasn't being fussy this year. I hadn't had many days to hunt, but he had his Big Woods jacket, pants, and pack on.
Good man.
I said, send in some pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was pretty funny. And then that night, it's the last night there down at the lodge, when I took Ryland home, he didn't want a muzzleloader hunt, so He's never even shot one, but I guess next year we probably should practice. He probably didn't figure he'd have to get to muzzleloader season.
He didn't want to go though?
Nope. Well, he didn't. He said he didn't want to. He said he'd never shot one and didn't want to, practice. No, he was all set. He said,
Yeah.
He said, Papa, I've had a good deer season. He said, I didn't shoot a deer, but he said, I've had a good deer season.
Good for him.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
I am a bit surprised though because he does like to go. I'm just surprised he didn't take the opportunity.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he knows I like to go on my own too and stuff. So I think he was ready to kind of let go, but
pack it in.
He's seen a lot of bucks. I can't remember how many. I think I've seen 13 now, but I'm sure he's seen 7 or 8, 9, I think it was, or something like that.
It is funny, right? We get so excited for the deer season, and we're fortunate with what we do that we're in the woods a lot, whether it's guiding or just hunting on our own. We're able to go out a lot. And you do this time of the year, I'm ready to move on. Like it's you get to a point where if you don't have your tag filled, you have to go. You just feel like you're obligated because you're going to regret it if you don't. And I felt that way with going with Brad the other day. He said, you sure you don't have it? I said, I'll regret it if I don't because it's such a great day to be in the woods.
Yeah.
And once I get out there, I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I'm here, but it gets to a point where you're getting up in the morning at 4 o'clock or 4:30 or whatever it is. And you kind of got to push yourself a little bit.
Yeah. Well, this is the first week I've hunted on my own. I've had somebody with me the whole season, and so I hunted Monday and Tuesday. Took today off, so I got 3 more days. So we'll see what happens.
Well, you better get it now, Hal. I'm up here. You get your help.
Yeah.
We're not going where he is. He's
all right. You're out of
the
it,
other
Hal.
direction.
You wouldn't come up to help me?
Oh, we would.
Absolutely. Hey, I owe you one. You helped me drag that one out.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll have to. Well, down here, you guys get cell service, don't you?
No,
not really.
No, not down here. No,
not where we've been. It's spotty. There is one little spot there.
Yeah,
I was able to order propane the other day.
yeah. Don't I know?
Bling.
Yeah. Alarm reminder.
Yeah.
That's one way to jump them up, Joe.
I think so. When we were in tagging Braden and Jeremy's, and Matt was there also. He'd kill one that day. He was there get tagged. Well, they couldn't tag because the internet was out. But while we were there at the way station, I think he said they had tagged over 300 to that point.
They did?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I knew it had to be up because I was seeing, a lot of it, you see a lot of it go through, the stories, and Sundays I'd try to catch up a little bit on Facebook. And that would keep me informed, especially of the locals or something there. But, yeah, that's up quite a bit then because it was just over 200 last year. And the year before it was 250. Something like that. So that's a good
That's a good harvest. It could be a record harvest this year.
It won't be a record because I used to tag 400 and something.
At Bishops they did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize it ever got that high. That's a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, back in the 80s, 90s, 70s, 80s, 90s, back in them days.
Pre-coyote days?
No, it wasn't really, but it was better deer yards back then. There was a lot more stuff that was deer yards, and it was there was a lot more hunters, too, though.
Yeah.
I remember back then, back in the 90s even, there was people camped on all the logging roads. It was tons of Canadians down here hunting. Oh, it was a lot of hunters, yeah. Yeah.
Which, from what everyone said, it seems to be there's a lot of hunters this year, more so than what we normally have.
I think they got crowded here with the snow the Thanksgiving week, though.
Yeah.
I don't think before that was anything out of the ordinary from most years. But
no, week 1 and 2 is pretty typical what it was this year.
Yeah, even the third week. There was, I think it's the same as it's been the last few years. But when we started, we had the snow Thanksgiving week. They didn't have it anywhere. It was just, even in town there was no snow for half the week. And then, there really wasn't snow enough to track around town. You had to get up out of town to have any tracking snow. So people kind of got squished in.
You made the comment the first night when everyone came into camp and you were giving your spiel there, and you said even Stevie Wonder could kill a deer this week, and I was like, oh, that's not good, Al. We didn't kill many.
Yeah. Well,
but it was a fun week.
I guess New Hampshire's average right now. I saw somebody posted that who's that guy that I think he's retired with Fish and Game or something like that. Or I'm trying to think of his last name. Anyway, he put out the statistics, and it's right on average for New Hampshire. And it doesn't surprise me. I mean, not a lot of snow, but good deer population because we've had some weak winters.
Right.
yeah. Now, statewide, it might not be up. I haven't seen anything saying that they thought statewide it was up, because this area and some of Eustis and some of Rangeley was really the only place with snow. They didn't even have snow up the Allagash either.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, there was no snow until Thanksgiving week. They got a little bit up there, a few inches, but yeah, there hasn't been snow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so statewide it might not be any different, but
Well, they've got it up there now, right? Yeah, because that's
yeah, they do. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's only. Somebody said up the Allagash it was, I think, 4 inches.
okay.
But that just came like last week,
Okay.
Thanksgiving week. They didn't have
Yeah.
any before that. They'd been all season without snow. So that makes a big difference up north, of course,
Yeah.
So-
Boy, Dan killed a beautiful buck up there.
Yeah, he did.
Big rack.
That thing was huge.
Heavy rack, yeah.
Yeah, heavy deer too.
Yeah.
Beautiful buck.
Tall, right? Real tall and
Tall,
wide.
wide.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had it
that was
all.
a beauty.
Yeah.
Looked like a Midwest rack, just
I think it was 210, I see it.
Yeah.
Put on it.
I saw his
Nice,
video
nice
taking it out
buck.
in the canoe. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You see
Oh,
that?
I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was
No.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway, nice buck.
yeah.
But it's like, I think with the way it is now with social media and everything, there's always been this many big rack bucks killed all over the place. It's just that
Never knew.
those are the ones that are so prominent now, and they're seen so much. And I think just from posts and comments I see from people that struggle and that aren't getting their deer, it seems like everyone else is killing deer, and I'm the only one not killing a deer.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I think, and they got to understand there's thousands of people that aren't killing their deer too.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just
Social
that-
media puts so much undue stress on hunters.
Yeah.
I think it does.
Yeah. There's a lot of positives you can get out of it. You know what I mean, Bob? But like you said, it kills your vibe for the year. You know what I mean? If you just look at people being successful, it's good to learn from them.
Oh, absolutely.
It's good to get the motivation, but you got to keep the right frame of mind.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Because it is a total vibe killer. Big
Yeah,
time.
you can't worry about what somebody else, and because you don't know the story in them. I still say half the ones people get are just luck anyways,
Yep.
So, you stumble onto them, which is nothing wrong with that.
No, it happens to everyone.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to
Yeah,
pass
yeah.
up that opportunity.
Yeah,
It's
right.
better to be lucky than
I don't
good,
want to be
right?
lucky today.
Oh, I didn't track that one. I'm going to let him go.
Yeah. I've said that a few times. Yeah.
I'll
Wow,
take
I
a
don't-
lucky buck this week.
Yeah, I don't know for sure. I always judge it on the hunt. Like yesterday, that one there was a good buck I was on, and
Yeah.
I was hoping to get him, but you don't get him every time. But I judge it on how the hunt goes, anyways. You know what I mean?
That's a good way to put it, because I
Yeah.
do the same thing. Like this year.
yeah,
One of the most fun things I like to do when I hunt is I actually like to shoot at a running deer.
yeah,
I like to shoot. You know what I mean? And actually, I shoot better when the deer's moving and it just happens, rather than it come out slow and now you gotta wait, and now your gun's at full ready, and now you're doing this. I just like to react to it.
Gun gains weight exponentially.
Yep. I shoot better that way.
yeah. I
But-
think I probably do too, because I I just don't have a running shot as any of them. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
As long as I can get lined up.
Yeah.
Get a couple jumps in there. And
It makes more memorable,
yeah.
Yeah. A little action.
It's just fun to shoot.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to throw lead.
Oh, yeah. I did have to, I told you earlier there, we had, I run into a couple of game wardens Monday there, and I told them I couldn't find the road I was trying to get down through, and they said they were lost too. But anyways, he pulls his phone out and comes over to my truck window with it, and he's got Onyx on there. So I guess the game wardens are all using the Onyx.
I think
that's a shout out to them. Yeah. Yeah.
Uses the Onyx. It's handy.
Yeah. If you remember to download your offline stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good conversation, guys.
Yeah.
Time to wrap it up. I got to get some old man rest tonight, and we can get after him tomorrow.
You got to make a story to talk about on the next podcast. All three of you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
For sure.
yeah.
Well, you too, though, Joe.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm right in your footsteps, Brad.
All right.
I'm going to record the story, hopefully.
It's nice having that big Yeti over me looking, I'm so short.
Yeah. He's going to go,
Yeah.
Brad, can't you see him? He's right there. You'll be on your tippy toes.
Tower 2 to Tower 1. What you got?
Oh. All right. Well, don't forget to hit the bell and subscribe. Check us out on
like,
Facebook.
and subscribe.
Yeah. Check us out on Facebook and all that. We'll have, in the YouTube, we'll have a lot of good stuff coming out. I guess we got quite a bit of footage from this fall all the guys have been getting. So, till then, until next time, good luck on the trail.
Hey guys, Joe here. Wanted to take a few minutes to talk about Lake Parlin Lodge. We're a 4-season lodge located just south of Jackman. We've got cabins, lodge rooms, mini lodge. We're a big snowmobile destination in the winter, full restaurant, bar, all the amenities that you need for your trip. Open all obviously through the summer, right on the lake. Kayaks, canoes, all included with the cabin. We also do a lot of weddings, so if you're looking for a destination wedding, we can do a wedding up to 200 people. And of course, we've got our hunting season, moose season, deer season. So check us out. We're at lakeparlinlodge.com.
Hi everyone, team member Mark Sheeran here. Are you or someone you know struggling with a drug or alcohol problem, but you don't want to go to rehab or 12-step meetings? Well, that's exactly why we created our non-12-step Freedom Model Coaching Program. In our program, you can be coached by me and Michelle Dunbar through our in-house 2-day addiction solution workshop, or if you want to stay home, you can be coached through video conferencing on Zoom. Both options are powerful and proven effective. We've personally coached more than 27,000 people over the last 34 years. With the Freedom Model, you won't have any record of being treated for an addiction either. This is a huge benefit for those with professional licenses, or who are high profile, or simply who have a lot to lose with such a damaging label. If you're ready to change your life and solve your addiction for good, call me directly at 888-424-2626 and set up your free 30-minute coaching session today. I look forward to helping you. And here's that number again, 888-424-2626. Take care.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Till next time, good luck on the trail.